What the Heck Do I Know presents PM Update with Leah and Mia. And now your host, Leah.
Hello and welcome to What the Heck Do I Know PM Update. I'm Leah. Tonight on Work Primed, are you mitigating the risks on your project delays? Mia speaks with Ronald Reed about how he handled recent project delays. Also, Tori Taylor has some insight to share with us about her recent promotion and managing a larger team. Find out more on this Work Prime segment when we come back, so stay tuned. Hey there! I really enjoy making these videos for you, and if you get value out of them or just enjoy watching them, please hit like, subscribe, and feel free to leave me a comment. Welcome back to Work Primed. Ronald Reed recently had some risks develop on his project related to delays. While delays in construction projects are common, Ronald does everything he can to reduce the cost of these delays no matter who or what causes them. Ronald Reed is a construction manager for Builders Brothers Construction Company. He recently completed a project with two major delay events, one internal and one external. Here's his story. Ronald is no stranger to project delays, but his last project was a big delay dilemma. Ronald's company was contracted to complete all of the finish work on a housing development. The accumulated delays of the other contractors really put him in a bind. Ronald was forced to push back his start date on the project by 2 months. Because of the location of this housing development, Ronald had to arrange for leasing warehouse and laydown area for his materials. Now he would have to see if shipments could be delayed, or he would be paying for an additional 2 months of storage. He also would incur additional security costs, or risk having his materials damaged or stolen. And then, of course, paying for new materials to replace those. He would also have to pay for those materials when they arrived, knowing that he wouldn't be compensated for them for at least 3 months when he was able to install them. In order to mitigate loss and additional expenses, Ronald scheduled a meeting with his client to discuss these extenuating circumstances. Ronald suggested a change to his contract to extend his finish deadline and to allow for stockpile payments when his material is received. He also asked for additional compensation to cover his costs on storage space. Since the delays were not his fault, his client verbally agreed to the contract extension and the stockpile payments. The money was in the budget already, so it would just be paid earlier than previously. They agreed to put the requested changes through the change management process. The additional funds for storage was not in the budget, though, and his client could not agree to that without additional approvals. It would still go through the change management process like his other requests, but Ronald knew that if this change request was not approved, he would have to submit a claim if he wanted to recoup his losses there. After his meeting with the client, Ronald talked to all of his suppliers to see what he could work out with them. All of the large and bulky items could not be delayed, so he would be stuck with the laydown area costs. Ronald also reviewed his schedule in WBS to see what activities he would be able to start as soon as possible. When Ronald was able to start work, one of his fixture suppliers was not able to provide his items on the delayed schedule they had agreed to. Now he had his own delays to worry about. Since there were liquidated damages on his contract, and his delays were at least partly related to the other contractors, Ronald met with the client again to see what could be resolved. His client agreed to a partial extension, but Ronald would still be liable for the liquidated damages beyond that. Ronald says time is money, not just on construction projects, but with many things in life. When someone is causing delays for you, even when it's yourself, you need to look at ways to mitigate the delay and explore all of your options before accepting the loss completely. That is so true, Mia.
How are you mitigating delays in your life or paying the full cost? Up next, Mia talks to Tori Taylor about how she transitioned from managing a single department to managing the entire region. More on that when we return for the second half of PM Update, Work Primed. So stay tuned. As promised for the second half of Work Prime tonight, Mia has an inspiring story about how to get past any reservations you might have about a promotion, challenge, or a stretch goal. Tori Taylor talks about her initial concerns and her unlikely source of inspiration.
Tori Taylor works for Mega Media as Regional District Manager. When the promotion was first offered to her, she was a little nervous about making the transition because she would now be managing groups that were responsible for parts of the business she didn't know much about. Tori felt that her previous successful years were the result of working her way up through the company and being an expert on the tasks performed by her employees, because one at a time she had been responsible for those same tasks. She was flattered by the offered promotion, but wasn't sure about accepting it because she wasn't sure she would continue to be successful. While she was considering the offer, Tori found inspiration in an old episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. In the episode, Counselor Troi decides she wants to try to qualify for the bridge officer exam because she wants to stretch herself. Tori decided after watching the show to follow her example. Tori talked to her boss about her future tasks and the other areas of the company she was not familiar with. This helped her build a plan of what she would need to learn. She also discussed with her what her main responsibility would be to the company so that she had a clear vision of what she was expected to accomplish. Tori studied to learn as much as she could about the company operations and projects. Then she set out to learn the specific goals and issues in each department. In the process, developing an understanding of all the different groups that come together to make their company so successful. By the time she moved to the new office and position, Tori still wasn't an expert on all of the things her new employees did, but she had a basic understanding of what they did, how it fit into the big picture, and how the whole system combined to achieve the company goals she discussed with her boss. Tori says she was glad that her first response was nervousness because it inspired her to learn so much about the individual groups and the company as a whole. That learning gave her the background and confidence she needed to continue to be successful. It has been a year now since Tori took on this new responsibility, and it is going extremely well. She has found ways to eliminate wasteful spending and improve the quality and value that they provide to their clients. Tori loves that she needs to rely on their expertise from time to time because she thinks it makes her a better manager. And it gives her the opportunity to work directly with individuals. It also gives her the opportunity to learn more, which makes her job more interesting. Tori says if you are ever in this situation yourself, the key is to learning as much as you can, know where your focus needs to be, and build the confidence you need to do it. You don't need to be a technical expert to be a leader.
Who knew that TV shows could be so inspirational and helpful? I'm so happy that Tori's promotion went so well, and thank you for that story, Mia. That's all for What the Heck Do I Know's PM Update with Leah and Mia and our Work Prime segment for this week. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow night on the next episode of PM Update. Good night. Hey there, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I also love seeing comments, especially if you have a topic you would like me to cover.